Okay, well, welcome. This is the Tuesday after the Super Bowl, and after my big exhortation that I wasn't going to watch the Super Bowl, I wound up watching the whole thing. Is actually for a football game. It was actually compelling. First of all, I was for the Falcons, of course. I mean, who cheers for Belichick? I mean, Jiminy Christmas, God, it's like cheering for Darth Vader. Anyway. I know some of you probably didn't watch it, or some of you, or were busy with other things. But it was as far as a football game it goes. Of course, the NFL is still lauding itself with its that we're working on the concussion thing. Yeah, right. And they're working on the domestic abuse problems that they might have. Yeah, right. Um, as long as the checks keep coming, as long as the money keeps rolling in, they don't really care about those things, except that their attendance of games, their viewership is going down. And the other, one of the things that's gnawing at them is that the youth sports, football, kids signing up for youth sport football is declining rapidly. As parents are going, my son's not going to play football, or daughter is not going to play football, and other sports are starting to uh, catch on. But I mean, football is going to be around for a long time. But I do think I mean, during the tens and twenties, the biggest sport, football wasn't even around hardly. The biggest sport in fact, in 1905, I don't know if you all knew this, but Teddy Roosevelt tried to outlaw football because like 11 players from Yale and Harvard died during the season because they were doing this thing called the flying wedge, and they didn't have really helmets, and the game was just this brutal rugby scrum, and players were getting their necks broken and dying, and so Teddy Roosevelt was about to outlaw it, but and this is when the NCAA was born. Um, they came up with some rule. They made some rule changes. One, they made a first down 10 yards instead of 5. Secondly, they outlawed the play the flying wedge, and then they did a few other things. They instituted the forward pass and a few other things, and they have made changes to make the game safer and safer. So move on. So why am I talking about this? I don't know. I just like to hear myself talk, I guess. And now, of course, Tom Brady has won 5 Super Bowls. He's been in 7, I think. The Patriots used to be kind of an also ran. I mean, the Patriots, their first Super Bowl that they were ever in was they were against the '85 Bears in the 1986 Super Bowl, and they got clobbered. I mean, they got clobbered like 45-10. That's when the Fridge Perry scored a touchdown, and then they were in another Super Bowl against the Packers, maybe, or was it when Mike Holmgren was their coach, or when Bill Parcells was their coach, and had Drew Bledsoe. They were in a Super, and they got waxed badly. But since Belichick has been there, they've won 5 Super Bowls and been in 7 under his reign. And people are saying Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback they ever lived. Statistically, yes, but you got to remember it's a different era. Back when good old Lenny Dawson and Johnny Unitas and those guys were, even Terry Bradshaw in his era, or even newer, Steve Young, Joe Montana, and Dan Marino in their era. There was a lot more stuff the defense could do. Okay, and there was a lot more stuff the defense could do to quarterbacks too that they can't do now anymore. The quarterback position, I know they would argue. I wouldn't want to stand back there, but it's almost like they're wearing an orange shirt in practice. As much contact as they're going to get, unless, of course, and I'm saying this with all seriousness because this has been shown over and over again. Unless, of course, they're an African American quarterback, and then it's open season on them. Just watch the way they call roughing the passer. Just watch the films on how they call roughing the passer on Tom Brady versus Cam Newton. It's appalling. It is absolutely appalling. But hey, no, it's not A. It's not good. It's not right. But but it's very American. All right, as we look at ourselves in the mirror. Anyway, I don't know how that's going to sit with some of you all, but you know, that's part of going to college too. Is you hopefully get your world rocked every once in a while. So enough on the Super Bowl. This assignment is actually very, very straightforward. It's got very little to do with me. I'm going to show you some of the slides and things like that, and then you will. I'm going to go through the slides, and then there's a lot of videos that you get to watch that and answer the questions. There's no calculations in this one, so you don't need any notes or anything like that. It's a straightforward exercise. It's due a week from today. It's due on Valentine's Day. So those of you who wake up, so fellas, those of you who wake up Valentine's Day and go, uh-oh, I forgot to get my girlfriend for over a couple. If you've ever seen that, I'm going to show it next week probably. Then there's a Saturday Night Live skit or one of their fake commercials where they talked about shopping at CVS on 10 o'clock at night on Valentine's Day, and you buy just crap at CVS and say, honey, I love you. Anyway, so without further ado, I'm going to butt out, and we will go to the slides out here.